Hi, Mr. C here at the wood shop. I just want to pick up right where we left off. Now that you have seen this cabinet glued up, clearly this has had the time to dry and cure. So now the glue is all set. Now it's going to be one continuous piece together and it's pretty rigid. So now our next step is to go ahead and build the face frame out, and we're going to be using hardwood to build the face frame or for this traditional cabinet or framed cabinet. Remember, we are not making a European style cabinet or a full access cabinet. This is going to be a face frame upper cabinet because that's what the whole kitchen is going to be made with face frames. So this is a red oak plywood that's 3/4 inch in thickness. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to also be using some red oak hardwood. So come on over here. Now I happen to have this piece, and if you remember during the safety demonstration videos, I had planed the board and I have jointed one edge. So now I have this face, the other face, and this edge has all been milled. The only thing it hasn't is this one edge, which is okay because I'm going to show you what we have to do with this. Now, because base cabinets are 34.5 inches tall, I'm going to make this just slightly longer than that, because any leftover parts or material can be used for a larger cabinet as well. I do not need this whole long piece for the project. So what I'm going to do is I marked it at a certain length that I thought was appropriate, and the back piece, this piece down here from here to here, I'm not just going to cut it here because that would be kind of pointless and wasteful of material. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and cut this piece here and here, and then we're going to rip our material to 2 inches in width because that's what we need for our face frame on that cabinet. And also the door frames for our doors that are going to be on this cabinet are always in 2 inch in width. So I'm going to take this with a jointed edge here. I'm going to bring this over with my miter box saw. And I'm going to line this up now. Nice thing about this saw here, make sure power now is being delivered. All set. Okay. And I've lined this up. I have my hands 4 inches away. Need safety boxes. Almost caught myself. Almost got in trouble. So, okay, we're going to hold this properly and go ahead and make sure it's in line. So now I have this piece. I'm going to remove this. Place this here. I have my roller stands. I'm just going to roll this one in. Okay, so now I have these two pieces. So what I want to do is now when you pay attention to the grain, you can see like this piece here, we have a knot in here. We don't want to use that in our face frame. That would be a bad discontinuity to the surface, or to that visual surface, I should say. What I like to do is I really like to see on cabinets is tight grain like this to be in the face frames. Having grain that's the open grain, like between here and here, not so attractive. So we want to pay attention to that, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my material, I'm going to go ahead and bring this over to the table saw, and I'll talk to you about that. Okay, now I need to adjust my fence. I need my fence. I'm going to take my cursor, I'm going to set this exactly at 2 inches in width, and I'm going to lock this down. I'm going to lock my fence down. I'm making sure this comes down, and then I make sure this does not move at all. Okay? Now, I have my straight grain piece here, and then I have my push sticks, And I want to make sure that I have this here. All right. My guard is on. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that this is 1/8 of an inch above the material, which it is. So the blade is set up properly. So that way I don't have to worry about this. Turn this on. Push this all the way through, bring this back. Now you see this piece. See how tight the grain is here? So this is what we want to see on our face frames or our door frames. Real nice tight grain. Not so much on this piece any longer. Go ahead. Now remember, this is the jointed edge. That's the edge that goes against the fence here. Again, we have another piece of straight grain. I'm going to need a few pieces for this. Now this side has not been jointed. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lock this down so that way I can take just a little bit off. As you can see, this side is much wider than this side. So this. Make sure the blade is away from the material. The material is not right in the blade. Now I'll go ahead and move this back to 2 inches. I'm going to pull out a scrap piece. I'll set this over here. Straight grain here. That's okay for this before. Not liking, this isn't tight enough grain. I don't like the way this looks as much. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna rip off a little bit off this edge so I can get the same tight grain. Bring my hands back, turn this off. Now I have my tight grain again here. I can probably, because that cabinet's only 16 inches tall, from here to here, I'm probably gonna get some tight grain out of this. Yep. See, so I can get this. This will be okay. My scrap material off to the side. It's all clear. The blade is stopped. It's okay. Turn this off. Like I said, the first 16 inches or so, I'm going to be able to get some nice looking straight grain out of this as well. And then now I can get some more tight grain out of this. Remember, like I said, we're going to be building frame pieces for doors and for cabinets. So needs to be plenty of material for what we have to do, okay? Now the only scrap I have are these pieces here. This piece right here, the blade is taken complete stop. I can use this for other components inside the cabinet. But now what I'd like to talk to you about is this. Is these pieces here, they're essentially going to go over, you see the plywood here, the plywood core? It's going to go right over that plywood core, just like that. So when you look at the side of the cabinet,